Okay, we going? Fantastic. Alright, hello operators and welcome to a review-riling, book-banning installment of Operation Mediocrities. This is an unscripted, unedited installment and is therefore going to be the best episode you've ever seen. Probably because it's the only episode you've ever seen. If you stumbled upon this page, leave now. This is about as high the quality is going to get. Blah! Okay, so, run the intro. It's like a mediocre Socrates, Operation Mediocrities, yeah. Bow, 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 ba-da-dow. Get it? It's a pun. Hey, okay, so this week on Operation Mediocrities, we are doing book reviews, specifically novels, and specifically novels which we are recommending to our fellow operators and to the audience at large, by which I mean just the operators. Fantastic. Okay, the book I am reviewing this week is the Book of Mormon. That's a lie. There's an interesting, well, there's a not so very interesting story about how I got hold of this. I'm not going to tell it because it's not very interesting. Brilliant. Moving on. Okay, the book I'm actually going to be reviewing this video is Stephanie Meyer's Twilight. No, it's not. It's John Green's Paper Towns. There it is. As you can see, it's printed on paper, which is a good start. And for some reason, on the British cover, they decided to include a big thumbtack. Not sure what's going on there. Stuff. Fantastic. Okay, so this is the third of John Green's novels, and it's possibly my favourite. It's in fact one of my favourite novels of all time, and I highly recommend it to anyone who wants to read it. Which means you read it, take it now, take it, go, take it. Fantastic. Okay. The story concerns Quinton Jacobson, who is a fairly bright high school student who's about to leave high school and go on to college. He anticipates that he's going to do well in college and get a good job, possibly become like a lawyer or something, and settle down with a family and do the whole suburban dream thing, which is wonderful. That's fine. But there's an itch in his life. There's a little distraction, and that comes in the form of Margot Roth Spiegelman. Now, Margot Roth Spiegelman, whose name can only be said in its entirety, by the way, you can't call her Margot, and you definitely shouldn't call her Miss Spiegelman, is a wild and fantastic young girl who is an old friend of his, and they basically grew up together, living next door to each other. And she is the manic pixie dream girl of his manic pixie dreams. She's a wild and fantastic character, and one night she turns up at his window and takes him out for an adventure where they pull pranks on people and they break into SeaWorld and they do all these wonderful things that he'd never imagined that he'd ever do. And it's brilliant. And it's very, very funny. Good. Okay. But where he thinks that this is going to change their relationship, where he thinks that this means that they're going to become new friends again, and they're going to live a life of wild adventure and gadding about, she doesn't turn up to school again. In fact, she doesn't turn up at all. She leaves. She runs away, and no one knows why. And the story concerns Quinton trying to find out where she went and why. Now, as part of that, really what he's asking is not where did Margot go, but which Margot is he looking for? And the book concerns itself with the way in which we imagine other people, the way in which we force ourselves onto them, and the way in which we imagine people as ourselves, rather than imagining them as other people. The book challenges us to imagine other people complexly, and to remind ourselves that they are people. Margot, for Quinton, is this manic pixie dream girl. She's this kind of goddess of anarchy and mischievousness, and that's not actually who she is. In fact, the question is posed, does anyone know who Margot is? Does the reader know who Margot is? And that's a very interesting question, and that makes the book very good. So well done, John Green, for that. The whole story is dealt with fantastic humour. It is an incredibly funny book. The other characters in the novel, Radar, Ben, Lacey, they all add a wonderful, wonderful cast of very funny, very complex and interesting characters. And they aren't just your standard, stereotypical, sidekicks. They aren't your, high school group where you have a central role who is the smart, funny hero guy, and everyone else is kind of there to be one-dimensional. And I think it all comes back to this idea of imagining people complexly. So that's good, wonderful, well done. Mwah. Okay, buy this book. Do it. Buy it. Love it. Read it several times like I have. I've read it several times and I've had it for about a year and it's brilliant. So well done. This is sounding a lot like one of Max's videos. Why? Bad. Nah. This was a horrible, horrible challenge. James, I hate you. There is a special place in hell reserved for you. It's shared with child molesters and people who talk at the theatre. Yes, special hell. You're going there. Thank you. Max, I look forward to seeing your video and your book review on Friday. I am never doing this again. And till then, bears you. Special hell. Ah.